Hi, I'm Buddy Price, and today I'm going to tie for you a pheasant tail nymph. The pheasant tail nymph was developed by Frank Sawyer, a riverkeeper on the Avon in England. The version I'm going to tie for you has been modified by Al Troth, which uses peacock curl and adds some legs. The pheasant tail is a very good fly for trout, brim, any number of other species. It can be tied anything from size 8 up to size 18, 20. A little tougher in the smaller sizes, but it's a very effective fly. It's designed to imitate a number of the mayfly nymphs, but it's just a good overall nymph for many species. So let's tie a pheasant tail nymph. We start the pheasant tail with a Mustad 3906B hook. This is a 1XL streamer hook. Gives us a little extra length for the body. This is a size 14 we're tying on today. We'll start by putting some sticky back lead on. I've cut a Nymph skinny strip here. I like the sticky back lead because it lets me shape the body a little bit. Let's see here, tie on a little bit ahead of the front. I come back, wrap backwards, and back to the area right back there and punch it off. When I add the thread, this is going to give me a kind of a carrot shaped body. I'm using a unithread in a 6/0 size. You can do this with round lead, by the way, if you want to. Really no advantages one way or the other. What I'm doing now is I'm trying to get that little piece of lead right there, that little edge, pinched down. Just to get everything shaped back up again. There we go. Now I got that kind of carrot shape going. And we're going to stop right here about where the eye is. I'm going to clip about 4 pheasant tail fibers from the clump. These are taken from the center feather of a pheasant. You can see where I've used quite a few of these. And there's some of them that are softer than others. You want to make sure that you got the kind of stiff ones. Lengthwise, about the length of the body, thereabouts. I'll start tight on the side and then roll it up and onto the body. Once I've got it in position, I can bring it. Notice how they splayed real nice that time. They don't always do that, but sometimes you get lucky and they splay really nice. After you've added in, put the tail in and left the body hair there, you do need to add your wire rib. Just a thin piece of small copper. Tie it in, taking it up towards the front of the body. I tie it on the back side. This is going to be a counter rib, so it's going to come up and under. At this point, I bring my bobbin cradle into place. Take my hackle pliers. I'm going to use the rotary function of my vise here. And I'm going to lay a body, and be careful with that point because it will clip your fibers if you're not careful. Back that off. Now that we got them into place, I'm going to take 1 wrap, release 2 wraps, 3 wraps. That's not going anywhere. Trim off the excess and finish wrapping that down. Alright, so that gives us the body plus the tail. Again, you can see how that tail splayed real nice. Since we wrapped this way, we wrapped this way to put the material on, we're going to wrap the opposite direction with our rib. What this does is if one of the fibers gets cut by a fish's tooth, the whole thing doesn't come unraveled. Lay several wraps of thread over that, and if we're You can cut this with scissors, but the small diameter will just pop right off. Gives you a much cleaner cut, and we can tie that down real nice. Spin my bobbin to get my thread back flat again, and take it back to right there. At this point, I'm going to tie in 5, 6, 7 of the fibers off the tail. We're going to tie this right on top. This is both the legs and the shell back, or the wing case. Now the legs, you want just enough up there to be able to bring something back. I think I need just a little bit more there. So I'm going to pull them like so. Tie those in. Now, we got the shell back on there, or the wing case. Now we need about 3 of the peacock herl, about 3 fibers. We're going to tie those in. Bring the thread forward, wrap the peacock herl evenly. Sometimes it helps to twist it to keep them from separating too much. Just a little trick to remember sometimes. Some people will also take and reinforce that with thread. Take about 3 wraps. Peacock herl is rather brittle, so you can usually just pop it loose without having to cut it. At this point, we want to bring the wing case up and over. You can see now, make about 3 wraps. Clip off the excess. Makes a very nice wing case. All that's left now is to take these fibers, and we're going to divide them up into 2 groups. We're going to bring them back over the body. And one of the easiest ways to do that is just force them like that. And then you start tying. You're building your head and you're tying those hackles down at the same time. And what you end up with is little legs sitting out to the side. At that point, the fly is done. Get our whip finish tool. Notice when I cut, I don't actually cut. You still use the scissors to cut. I just use the edge, and it pops it right off. We add a little head cement. Sometimes if you want a little glossier back, you can add just a little bit of head cement to the wing case. That'll give you a little glossier. And that is a pheasant tail nymph.